By the time Alex reached the porch, the cold had already decided things for him. His fingers were so numb he could barely feel the rim of the foil pan he was carrying. He practiced this moment in his head. Walk in, smile, set the dish down, find an empty chair, stay out of the way. Laughter drifted through the door, loose and careless. The kind that never expects to be interrupted. The door opened before he could knock. His aunt stood there in a cardigan far too thin for December, one hand gripping the knob like she meant to shut it fast. Her eyes traveled over him, paused at the pan, then slid past his face. "We don't want you here," she said, rolling her eyes. "Go ruin someone else's holiday." She said it the way someone tells a delivery driver they already paid. Online, quick, efficient, final. Alex didn't answer right away. He looked over her shoulder into the dining room. The table was full. Cousins leaning close, elbows brushing. Someone was in the middle of a story, hands in the air, and the laughter burst out again. Louder this time. His mother's chair sat empty. She'd been gone 3 winters now. But the chair was still there, angled the way she always left it. No one looked toward the door. Alex nodded. The steadiness of his own voice surprised him when he said, "Got it." He turned away. The door closed, not slammed, just shut, out on the sidewalk. The streetlights were already on, stretching. Long shadows over snow stomped into gray slush. Alex walked without choosing a direction. He wasn't as angry as he thought he should be. Like he'd missed a signal to feel outraged. Instead, there was a clean, quiet feeling. As if something had finally been named out loud. He thought of other doors, other moments where he'd been asked gently or not to justify his place. He'd learned early how to arrive first, leave last, shrink himself. He'd learned to turn jokes into armor and swallow the urge to ask why. 10 minutes later, time started to matter again, and he checked his watch. His phone buzzed. He ignored it. It buzzed again, then again. He stopped and leaned against a parked car, watching his breath fog the air. Someone came running down the block, coat flapping open. His father's voice cut through the cold, sharp and unmistakable. "Alex." His father skidded to a stop, bent over, catching his breath, staring like he needed to be sure Alex was real. "What happened?" he demanded, straightening up. "Why are you out here?" Alex didn't hurry. He lifted the pan slightly, like proof. "Your sister told me to leave." His father's face tightened. He glanced back at the house, then stopped himself. "She doesn't get to decide that." Alex shrugged. "Common and showy." "She already did." His father swore under his breath, pulled out his phone, and paced a tight circle on the icy sidewalk. Alex watched him, noticing the shift, not warmth, not quite care, but urgency. Authority snapping into place. When the call ended, his father didn't ask Alex to come inside. He didn't reach for him. He just said, "Wait here," and headed back toward the house. The door flew open again, hard enough to rattle the glass. Voices rose, not shouting, but sharp, clipped sentences, heavy because they were unfamiliar. Alex couldn't make out the words, but he knew the tone his father used when he meant business. Lights flicked on in nearby houses. A car alarm chirped once, then went quiet. After a while, the door opened again. His father stepped out alone and closed it behind him. He stood there with his hands in his pockets, staring down at the snow. "I told her she was out of line," he said. "I told her that can't happen again." Alex waited. He learned that silence could do useful work. His father sighed. "Your cousins are confused." "They didn't know," Alex said. It wasn't an accusation. His father hesitated. "You could come back in if you want." Alex looked to the house, at the window where people shifted in their chairs. The table suddenly feeling too full. The empty seats standing out more than before. He imagined walking back into stiff smiles and apologies that came too late. He imagined spending the night smoothing over everyone else's discomfort. "I don't want to," he said. His father nodded once. "Okay." They stood there another minute, the cold pushing things toward an end. His father reached for the pan. "I'll take this inside," he said, then paused. "Or I can bring it back." Alex thought for a moment. "Take it," he said. "Let them eat later." Back in his apartment, Alex reheated leftovers and ate standing up. He scrolled past messages without opening them. Tomorrow would bring explanations, excuses, and a quiet effort to pretend everything was normal again. He didn't block anyone. He didn't post anything. He didn't need an audience. In the days that followed, things shifted in small ways. Invitations came more carefully, or didn't come at all. His father called more often, sometimes to talk about work, sometimes just to fill the silence. His aunt sent a text that said a misunderstanding. No punctuation. Alex replied, "I understand." The next Christmas morning, he slept in and made coffee. Snow fell softly, with no rush. He set his phone down and watched the steam curl upward, noticing the space where a familiar ache used to live. It wasn't triumph. It wasn't closure. It was something quieter, less dramatic, the understanding that when a door closes, you don't have to knock again just to prove you once belonged somewhere. A table was set without him somewhere else. Another table would be set differently. He would choose which one to walk toward.